Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mohammad Ubaid and this is another video of Basics of Structural Analysis series. And today we will discuss how do we model a real life structure in structural analysis, and how do we model brick masonry, what is the general practice of modeling it, and how do we model column and beams. And we will also illustrate all these concepts with a very good example for our better understanding. So let's start the video.
So in this video what we will learn how to model a practical structure. Now what happens when we study the structural analysis course, we deal with the figures like this. Okay, this is the figure of a frame and we have to analyze this frame. Like this is the horizontal force and there is a UDL which is working on this beam. And what else we have, we may have a force working like this. So we have to analyze this structure or this frame to find out the bending moment, to find out the reaction at supports and many other things. So from where this structure or this frame comes. Okay, so this is the main topic of our today's video. In this video we will learn how we model this real life structure to this structure which we have to analyze. Okay, and why we do this? This is a very important question. We do this because in real life structure like which I have drawn here, in this structure there may be many uncertainties. Okay, what are the uncertainties? Some of the uncertainties can be accounted very easily and very accurately, but there will be some uncertainties in some of the properties, okay, which we cannot model very accurately. Like so first of all, just let us discuss the uncertainties. Okay, what are some uncertainties which may happen in our modeling which we cannot take care of very accurately? First let us take very common, which is the concrete. Okay, now concrete is a very variable material. Okay, if we have a poor workmanship, then there will be variation in the strength of concrete. If we haven't mixed the concrete very well, then there will be variation. If we haven't used the aggregate of a very good qualities or which was specified in the mix, then there will be a variability in the strength of the concrete. So there are many uncertainties associated with this concrete. Okay, so this is the very simple example. Now what are the uncertainties associated with this real life structure? This is a frame which you can see very easily and very simply in any building. Okay, if there is a construction going on, you can just go and you can see this type of structure, because nowadays generally there are frame structure which we are constructing very commonly. This is the frame structure, this is a column, this is a beam, and we have used here brick wall which is commonly used in the construction for partition or many other purposes. So this is the brick wall and this is the beam, this is the column, and there is an opening. There is no brick wall in this, and this is the open space also, and this is the ground level. So this is the elevation of a building of a frame structure. So we will try to model this building for a structure analysis, and this is a very important video for those who are doing projects and they have just completed their course in structure analysis. So they may face problem in modeling the real life structure for their model in ETABS, in SAP, in StatPro, or in any other software in which they are working. So let us start our main video, or the main thing, which is the modeling of the real life structure. Okay, so first of all we will talk about load. In our previous video where we have discussed different types of support condition, different types of joint, if you haven't seen those videos, please go to description and you will find the link of those videos. Please watch those videos before modeling the structure, because in this video we will use some of the concepts which we have discussed on those videos. Okay, So first of all we will talk about loading. Okay, loading, what are the different types of loading? Okay, so load may be of different type. Okay, so there is a brick wall. Okay, now in our model how do we consider the brick wall? So there are many approaches. There are macro approach, there are micro approach, which are the research topic. Okay, so we will not go in that detail, because in general construction what we do, we just take this brick masonry. Okay, so let's say this is the brick masonry, this is the brick masonry. Okay, this is the height of the brick wall and this is the length of the brick wall. Okay, so what will we do, we will just find out the total weight of this brick wall. Okay, so what will be the weight? L, B, the breadth of the brick wall, or we can say L into H into thickness of the brick wall and multiplied by the density or multiplied by the unit weight. Okay, so this is how we can find the total weight of this brick wall. Now what we will do, we will just divide this total weight to find the UDL, divide the total weight by the length of the beam, so that we can find the UDL. What is UDL? UDL we measure in kilonewton per meter. Okay, what does it mean? It means that we have considered this brick wall as a load applied, like this is our beam, we have considered this brick masonry wall as a load applied on the beam uniformly. Okay, per meter on the beam the load is uniform, because the thickness of the brick wall will be uniform, and it is a line load because it has less breadth and more height and more length, so we will consider it as a UDL. Okay, which may have a specific value of loading, and we measure it in kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this is a UDL and this will work on the whole span of this beam, like here we have shown. So we can model this brick wall like UDL. Okay, now this is the UDL. Okay, so let us move to our next type of load, which is a point load. So from where the point load comes? Okay, so to understand the point load, we will take an example from this portal frame which we have drawn on the board. So we will take an example of this joint. Which joint? This joint. So let us draw this joint again here. So this is the joint, this is the column, and this is the beam. So they are meeting like this. Okay, now if we are only considering the gravity load, what are gravity load? Gravity load are dead load, gravity load. Okay, in our first video of this series we have discussed that a structure should be stable under different types of loading. So when we construct a structure or when we design or analyze a structure, first of all we will design it for gravity load. What are gravity load? The dead load of the structure. What is dead load? Dead load is the load of the members of the structure, like this is a column, this is a beam. So dead load comprises the load of the whole structure. Okay, structural member, like we can also take another or many other things like column, beam, and there may be another structural member. Okay, there may be steel bracing on this structure. So the total load of all those structural member is considered under dead load. Okay, and the next important load is live load. What is live load? As you can understand from this name, live. Okay, live load is the load which a structure will have to support in its lifespan. Okay, it is a very simple loading. Live load comprise the load of people which will live in the structure. Okay, so if there is a room or there is a slab which we have designed, so on the slab there will be people walking, there will be people living on this floor. So we have to consider all the loading of those people which will occupy the building and this is the same case like we have when we design a office building. So we will take more load, live load, because there will be more people walking on those building floors, so we will take more live load. Okay, so these are the main important types of loading which we consider for designing. There are many other loading, like these are the gravity loads, and there is another type of loading which are lateral load, like earthquake load. Okay, and there may be wind loading. Okay, so there are, and one another in the countries where there is a snowfall, so there may be snow loading. Okay, so these are the some important types of loading. Right now we will just talk about our point load. So if we are considering the gravity load only, then what will happen, this column will have its own weight, and it will and it will also carry some load from the beam on the above floors, so there will be some loading. Okay, so let's say this load is P, because generally the column carry axial force. Okay, if we are only considering the gravity load, so how this load P will transfer to this beam? Okay, so we will consider that this load is acting at the center line of this beam. So why we are saying center line? This is not the center line. We should use a very specific word, which is neutral axis. Okay, neutral axis. Okay, so neutral axis is a very important concept which we have learned in strength of material in our elementary course. So neutral axis may change according to the shape of the column, shape of the beam. So this is the very important thing. So just let us assume that the load is acting through the neutral axis of this column, so we will consider this loading as point load. Okay, we will consider this loading as as point load. Okay, so this is our point load. Now let us start the modeling of this structure. So what we do in the modeling, we just use the neutral axis of all the structural member. Like if the section of this column is square, okay, so this is the section of this column. So where the neutral axis will lie? Neutral axis will lie at the center or the centroid of this column. So here we may say that this is our neutral axis. So the load will pass through this point. Okay, so we can just model this column as a line element like this. It will look like this in the plan. Now if we just draw the elevation, so this is our column element, so we will just model it by a line element. Okay, we will specify the properties of this line element, like the section and other properties in the software. Okay, so software will take automatically all those property, and it will consider all those property for the design and analysis also. Okay, so this is how we model the column as a line element. Now if this is the rectangular section, now if the column is not does not has a rectangular section, if the column has a section like this, so what will happen? So the neutral axis will shift below, okay, near to the base. Okay, so this is our neutral axis. Now what line we will take? We will take this line as our center line, as our line modeling for our column. Okay, so this is for the column, and this is the same case for beam. If the beam is of our rectangular section of square section, then we will just consider the center line of the section, and we will consider the neutral axis in any of the cases. Okay, so we should not confuse, just take the neutral axis and draw the model. Okay, so this is for the beam and this is for the column. Now what we do for support condition? Okay, So support condition are very important to consider, because in many cases when we do the structural analysis we do not consider the flexibility of support. Okay, like what we have in civil engineer, as a civil engineer we will deal with the structure which rests on the ground. So this is the ground, and we know that the soil comprises different types of layer. Okay, so this is the layer 1 and this is the layer 2, this is layer 3. Okay, so now when we draw a structure, the structure will rest on this soil. So if we consider that there is a footing, sorry, let us draw it more clearly so that you can understand it better. So if we are just drawing a foundation or constructing a foundation, so this foundation may encounter different types of layering. Okay, so this is the layer 2, this is layer 1 and this is layer 3. So this structure may encounter different types of loading. Now what will happen, we generally consider these support. Okay, these are the support condition because the structure is supported on the ground. So we just consider these support condition as fixed support. Okay, this is the general scenario. Now if we want to consider the soil condition, then there will be, we have to do some research or some other analysis which comes under the soil structure interaction. What is soil structure interaction? Soil structure interaction. Okay, now what happens when we draw the footing? So as we can see, there are different layers in the soil. So the structure will have some interaction with the soil. Okay, so we cannot consider that, we cannot take that the base is fixed. Okay, because there may be some settlement, some rotation of the foundation. So we will consider all those things in soil structure interaction. Okay, so this is another topic of research, and many research are going on right now on these topics. Okay, so this is it. Now this is about support condition. We generally consider the support as fixed for the structure resting directly on the ground and whose columns are just constructed in the ground, as we can see here. So this type of condition we can model like fixed support. Okay, if you want to consider the soil structure interaction, then we have to model the soil properties as well in softwares like ETABS. ETABS also have that type of soil structure interaction procedure, and we can also model this behavior in SAP 2000 on, and there are many other software which can only deal with soil structure interaction. Okay, separately, very accurately. Okay, so this is it for the soil, for the condition of support. Okay, now we will just model our structure and how will it look like when we just model this structure. Okay, so as I have told you that we will just draw the center line of all those column, all those beam. Now if we start from this beam, so we will draw a line like this, and now if we just this type of this connection is, we have talked in our previous video that this type of connection will be a rigid connection. Okay, so this is the rigid connection, and just draw the beam. This is a column, this is a column. So we will just come here, and there is another column on the other side, so we will just draw it like this, and there is another beam here, so we will just draw this beam like this, and there is a column, so we will just draw this column. Okay, and there is another beam, so we will just draw this beam as well. Okay, so and we have discussed that we will consider the support condition as fixed, so we will just consider the support condition as fixed. So this is the fixed support condition. Now in the in the starting of this video we have discussed that we will consider brick wall as a UDL. So just draw the UDL here, okay, and there is also brick wall, so we will just draw the UDL also here, okay. So this is the UDL of brick wall, uniformly distributed load, okay. What does UDL mean? Uniformly distributed load, okay. And these are our beam column joint. What is this? This is our beam column joint. Beam column joints are very crucial, okay, in any type of structure, okay, because if we are modeling the beam column joint, we should model them accurately, because in practical structure, in our previous video we have discussed that the rigid joint after rotation it will have the same angle before rotation, but in real structure it may not happen, okay. There may be some other problems which may happen in the real life structure, so we should model them according to our practical structure, okay. So this is the modeling, and this is how the model will look like after modeling. So this is the portal frame which we can analyze in structural analysis very easily, and we can use our manual calculation for analyzing this frame. So of course it will take some time, so that's why we use the software for analyzing. We can model any type of structure in SAP, in ETABS, in StatPro, in any other type of structural analysis package. So this is it for this video, and I hope that you will understand now very clearly what are the modeling technique which we use to model our structure, okay. So this is it for this video. If you like this video, please share this video and subscribe to my channel for more informative content. Thanks for watching. We will meet in our next video.